What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing the tier list for Ulnar New Year on Lock and Load. Brian, let's hear the invitation.
Lock and Load is where we capture 5 spots on the map called locks. To capture, both allies must have a guy on it until it turns green. If the enemy gets a lock until it turns red, it starts a timer bar that ticks until we get it back, and fills faster the more locks he has. If the bar hits full, we lose. Free money is scattered on the map. Enemies launch fireworks at your guys upon death.
Alright, so we have Edwin home with the call with us today. How are you guys? Apparently you are two guys now. How are you guys?
We are doing just great.
Okay, so how do we rank the commanders this week?
Well, this week for, I'd say, most of the commanders, it's actually probably almost easier than the regular mission is because of one of the mutators. Being the, what's it called? Lucky envelopes. I mean, it's like, what if Slim Pickings was good, basically? What if you
That's
didn't
actually
have
true.
reduced mining and there were drops all over the map that gave you money? So for a lot of commanders, it just lets you get like, Alarak can get his mothership even earlier and can build way more stuff. The one caveat to that is, if you have more stuff, then that's more stuff for the fireworks to try and hit. So the more dense your army can be while still being powerful is important. But yeah, it's a fairly easy week. So
For me, it's all about how well you can handle fireworks. If the fireworks don't bother you at all, i.e. you have a way to completely dodge them, or you don't care how many armies you lose, then you're S tier. If you have a way to mitigate the effect of fireworks, you're A tier. If you suffer a little bit from the fireworks, you are B tier. If you suffer a lot, you are lower than B tier. Let's begin. Abathur, where do you have him?
Abathur is a very dense army commander, or can be at least, and then in the later game you have swarm hosts, which are infinite free units for the fireworks as long as you keep your swarm hosts far enough away that they don't get targeted by the fireworks, which shouldn't be too difficult. The only potential trouble you'll have is maybe some fireworks in the early game, but you should be able to dodge those even with the spore crawler.
Hold up. Is that Copilot on Notepad? They have Copilot on Notepad now. That's crazy. Oh my Donnie, sorry. Please continue.
Yeah. One of the latest news is with that is that there was a remote code execution exploit that can be run on Notepad now because they've added so much AI and cloud stuff to it. So now a Notepad can be used to hack your computer.
Oh my Donnie.
So pretty amazing stuff. Anyways, you shouldn't have too much trouble getting your biomass farming up. There are the fireworks to dodge, but even the spore crawler should be fast enough on the creep that you're getting from your toxic nests. So as long as you're careful, shouldn't interrupt you getting your Brutalist out, and you should have a relatively simple time this week. So I had him in S tier.
I also had him in S tier, but I simplified my game. I just choose not to make any Brutalisks. I just go straight for Swarm Hosts and just throw Locusts at the enemy. That's also S tier for me. Yeah?
Yeah, I think that works fine as well. Yep.
Alright. Abathur S tier, second prestige, because that's the best one for Swarm Hosts. I also, actually, the game I played Abathur on, I accidentally chose the first prestige. It was still fine. It was really slow, but it was still fine. So, S tier. Moving on, Alarak for me suffers a lot. Yes, he gets the mothership early. That is true. That is undeniable. He gets a lot of supplicants. He gets a lot of Wrathwalkers. But he is very slow in moving around. He can use a teleport once. And you can use the Ascendants to throw psionic orbs and then try to run away. But what happens when the enemy is Zerg? They will run to you. They will try to close in. And the truth of the matter is your Ascendants are slow. And if you have Alarak in front, then instead of the fireworks eating your army, it's Alarak who eats your army. That's why I consider him to suffer a lot. He is D tier for me. What do you think?
I did not think he would suffer nearly that much. In my attempt with him, I just went for destroyers because you can clump them, which makes it a lot easier to dodge the fireworks because they'll target where a unit actively currently is. So as long as you have them clumped, they all go in the same spot, and then you fly away. And you have the airspace to work with and things like that. I suppose it might be a bit harder. I don't know. I don't think I was up against Zerg.
It's a lot riskier.
Protoss, so. Assuming that they're up against Zerg and it's much, much harder. I had him in A tier, but I could see C tier. I really don't think I really don't think he's D tier.
Okay, I guess we can compromise on C tier. Although I really don't recommend using Alarak because you have so many better options this week. But I guess C tier is not too bad. That's where they had them last
D
time.
tier's still like bottom of the barrel for me this week,
Pretty
so
much. You
you know
shouldn't be in a
it is
mutation where
like
you get
yeah.
literally free money. Being below B tier is probably considered bad. But anyway, C tier for
Yeah.
Alarak. What prestige do you think? Still third one, since you still want the mothership for the first
I would
part?
do third one.
All right.
Yeah, I would do third one because you can get the mothership out super early,
Whoa, this is a
and
family-friendly channel. My Donnie.
you can get the mothership out even earlier, which means you can start clearing even earlier, which means you can finish the mission even earlier, which means you have fewer attack waves to deal with. So
That's true. The caveat is if your ally cooperates and does not try to right-click on the bonus and loses entire army 3 times over, then
that's
yes,
true.
you can end it quickly. But if the game goes longer, Alarak will suffer. That's also part of the calculus on why I put him in D tier. But anyway, assuming a cooperative ally, I guess C tier is fine. That's where he goes. Third, Prestige. Arcturus, where do we have him?
Arcturus looks very different this week, but Arcturus is pretty good. He has Earth Splitters, so he can kill everything from orbit. He has Suicide Bombers, so you have some dense army value on the push if you need it. And he has great top bars for clearing things out. So I had him in S tier as well.
Okay, I actually had Arcturus in A tier. Yes, he does have a way to mitigate the damage, but that only destroys ground units. I'm kind of concerned about air units for Arcturus. That's why I didn't quite put him in S tier. I have a lot of guys in S tier, don't get me wrong. And A tier I think is still pretty good. But why do you think he is S rather than A?
If I remember right, I actually was up against an air comp, and bunkers just kind of deal with it. The fireworks really don't do that much against bunkers. It takes like 5 or 6, I think, to kill one, and then as soon as you see a bunch of them going on a bunker, hop your units out and walk them away from there. And then you have, again, bombs. The big thing with air units is that they tend to clump up. So you have a few nuclear bombs go off on them, and they're gone, and it's not an issue anymore.
That's good enough for S for you? I guess with
Well,
free money.
it was very straightforward. You have free money. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're particularly you have the contaminated strike as well to clear out the air units in the actual bases, and then if you are up against an air comp, the attack waves again. I mean, you just have some anti-air troopers. You run them out ahead of your army. They nuke them, and then the fireworks go off against nothing because they're out ahead of your army.
I
At
guess
least for
the
me, it was not
contaminated
trouble.
strike.
I was up against an air.
I guess the contaminated strike also helps in not making the enemy send the stuff at you because they'd be confused and stuff. Okay, fine. I guess
Yes,
we
yeah.
can.
I'm not even that good at that, but that is, if you know the timings on this map, then you can basically never fight a single attack wave, in which case it's just clearing the bases, which aren't that hard this week.
Probably have to fight the first one, but that's beside the point. I guess S is not too far off from where I had him. So okay, let's have him S. First or third?
I would say third. I like nukes and nukes.
All right, let's have third prestige. Artanis for me suffers a bit. He does get free money, but he can go Phoenixes, which are known for just flying out of the way when fireworks try to hit them. There are some units that the Phoenixes cannot shoot, for example, big hybrids, Thors, and stuff. But for those, you have Archon Dudes and Soul of Bombardment, which comes on every 5 minutes, and if you're smart about it, you can actually clear pretty much the entire relevant part of the map within 10 minutes if you use your top bars smartly. But that being said, you kind of will want to keep dodging constantly with your phoenixes. I don't recommend dragoons this week. They are they are simpler. It will technically still work, but it's a lot more pain than just flying around. But I still have them in B tier for that. What do you think?
Yes, I think as well, you have the top bars to deal with, like the Leviathan in the top and the Dominator on the right side and whatnot, but you could also just make like 4 Tempests and deal with those after you've cleared everything else out with the Phoenix. Then you fly into Tempests, and you're not really that worried about fireworks at that point. So, especially because you can just disintegrate them and then fly away whenever they're at low health, right? So that's another option. And yeah, I had them in B tier as well.
All right. Prestige-wise, third one, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on, Dehaka. Where do we have him?
Dehaka is really, really good. He himself is very small. So all of the fireworks will go in one spot and be very easy to dodge, especially because you can like leap away from them if you have that off cooldown. And he's just generally very good at completing this mission very quickly. He won't necessarily benefit a ton from the lucky envelopes because generally by the time you're getting to a point where you want to build an army with Dehaka, you've completed this mission. So it's not a huge boon, but it doesn't really matter because again, it's not a boon because you're winning before you even need it. So I had him in S tier.
I also had him in S tier because he has pack eaters and creeper hosts. Prestige-wise, second one?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right. The creepers, by the way, are free units, or the creepers are free, so you can just send them freely. That's why I have an S. Moving on, Phoenix for me does have a lot of means to mitigate the damage, and that means is you just have your farm in the center of the map or very close to the action, and then the actual fighting units are just the champions themselves. They will get destroyed a lot by the fireworks, but that's kind of what they are there for, and you kind of just want to count on destroying enough stuff. With the free money, that does a lot in terms of mitigating the damage and absorbing some of the pain from the fireworks. Not quite S, but I have him in A. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought pretty similarly. Caldalis as well, like, is going to be able to pretty easily dodge any of the fireworks. Some of your other champions aren't necessarily going to be able to dodge super well, but they are half price and you're getting extra money. So you should basically be able to build infinite amounts of shell farms. So it's really not a huge deal at all. So yeah, I had him in A tier as well.
Also, for the later attack waves, you do have a means to mitigate it. You can use the Dragoon suit for the later attack waves that come in both sides. Dragoon on one side, Praetor or Caldalis on the other side, while your ally is busy losing 6-7 armies to the bonus. But hey, you can still hold it while he's doing that. Phoenix goes in A tier, prestige-wise second. Moving on, Han and Horner. Where do you have him?
Han and Horner is a little more unpleasant this week. You generally have a pretty big army, and then the things like battle cruisers and whatnot don't necessarily have the speed you would like them to have to dodge the fireworks. So something like Mass Wraith with maybe some Vikings can work pretty well, but they're not as much of a breeze as many of these commanders are. They do like the extra money a lot. You can get your bombing platforms up way earlier, which is super helpful. As long as you're able to clear the map quickly with a helpful ally, I don't think they're too bad, but if the ally stalls out, you're going to have more and more trouble as the game goes on. So I had them in C tier for that reason.
I actually had them in B tier. I'm not opposed to C tier, but I did have them in B tier because I think this is the week. This is probably the week to go for third prestige and just get like 50 airstrikers in your base and just rain down justice. And for defense, you just have mag mines. That being said, yeah, probably C tier. That's still probably C tier. It is fun though. I probably read them a little bit too high for the fun factor.
I could see B if not for unhelpful ally and air comp,
That is
It's
true.
like, well, those bombing platforms aren't doing much for you in the later stages of the game.
That is very true. Still, it's sure, yeah, we'll settle for C, but it's a very fun C rather than a very painful
In
C.
many situations, it's B, but there are some situations where it's worse, basically.
Okay, that's fair. That's still C tier though. C tier for Han and Horner. Prestige wise, are we going for a third one here? It is funner.
You could go 3, 2, or 1, really, I think.
Just pick a prestige. All right. Karax for me, S tier because he has Mirages if you want. You also have Observers, and you have the top bar, S tier.
Yeah, he's basically Artanis, but he can also just nuke all of the stuff that his Phoenixes can't lift. So Yeah, S tier for sure.
All right. Prestige-wise, ooh. Do you think the second one is worth it here? Or still third one, because you get the free money anyway?
Yeah, I think you could go for either realistically.
Okay.
It kind of depends on whether you have more fun with more Phoenixes or more fun with more top bar. I mean, it's really just whatever your preference is, I think. I don't think one's significantly better than the other.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Pick one of those. S tier. Moving on, Kerrigan. Where do we have him?
Kerrigan's very blonde this week. I keep getting thrown off by Nova in the list line. Uh, yeah, Kerrigan is pretty good because she can very heavily rely on a single hero unit, so you can dodge things, and she gets tons of money, so you can go for things like Mutalisks if you want to, because you'll have more money. That's really the main problem with Mutalisks, is hitting that critical mass, but you'll get money a lot faster. The downside of that is it's a short map, so you still might not hit that critical mass, but you can also make any other army composition and just kind of use it as a bonus. And if it dies to the fireworks, who cares? You still have Kerrigan, a mobilization wave, very good for the last 2 sectors if you need it, 1 or 2 sectors. And it's a pretty easy time. Omega Worms for easy transport around to get to protecting various points if you need to from attack waves. And yeah, it's just pretty easy. So I had her in S tier.
I had her in A tier because I don't think she's quite as good as the guys in S tier. I'm looking at the guys in S tier. Yeah, they feel. I feel like she's closer to Fenix than she is to Dehaka. But I can see. I can see if you think she's that strong. My plan here is actually I won't go for any fancy units. I will just go for all my gas goes to Omega Worms, and all my minerals go to Zerglings. And the plan is let Kerrigan do all the work, while everything else just absorbs fireworks in lieu of Kerrigan. That is the whole plan for me. Why do you think she's S rather than A?
So I think she's farther from Dehaka than she is from Phoenix, but I think she's about equidistant from Abathur as she is from Phoenix. I don't. The single hero unit, as opposed to needing what 7, means it's way easier to dodge fireworks. Kerrigan generally, if you're P0 or P2, which I'd probably say P0 here for a mobilization wave, although P2 has an argument because a lot of times you're finishing the map with only one immobilization wave coming out, in which case you might get more benefit from P2. But anyways, you're leaping and dashing all over the place anyways, which means you are by default dodging every firework. So it's basically just playing the map as a Kerrigan solo, which is not difficult at all in my experience with lock and load. And that would be my justification.
Okay, here's what we'll do. I still don't think she's S, but let's put her in S just because I don't want you to feel bad and leave me totally alone next week.
I mean, I'm fine with A because there's a lot of S this week. But yeah, I just think, yeah, the thing with the fireworks is there's another one that's similar to the fireworks. I can't remember the name, but like the explosions go out at random with the other mutator, whereas with this they go where units are, right?
Yes,
So
they
if you
target
kill
you.
30 units, yeah, which means with Kerrigan they target where she is currently, which means you are just leaping to a new target by
Yeah,
the time they hit, and you're not getting hit by the fireworks. So fireworks basically doesn't exist. So for me, it's a question of would Kerrigan be S tier if you were just playing lock and load, right? And that's completely discounting the fact that you're also getting free money to just, again, throw waves of Zerglings if you want to. But like you can solo this map pretty easily with just Kerrigan and Omega Worms, in
that
my
is
experience.
true.
That would be my justification. Again, she's not as good as some of the others, but it's also like, does she have any difficulty? I don't think so.
Yeah, just be good. Just get good. Oh my Donnie.
Yeah.
All right, Kerrigan S tier. Moving on.
Nothing got started.
Oh my Donnie. Nova's S tier because she can go P3 and just let the airstrikes and the sabotage drones and then the nukes rain. And then just use whatever it is she wants to just capture the locks. S tier. What do you think?
Yeah, basically that, P3 is very, very good on this map in general, and you don't care much about the fireworks at all with that, as long as you're actually clicking Nova around. I think the fireworks will still target her with Super Cloak, right?
Yes, they will, but you can deploy the
So as long as,
sabotage drone from really far away.
Yes, well, and as long as you're just clicking and you're not letting her sit the entire time, it's not going to matter. But just keep in mind that you do have to worry about that is all. But yeah, I'd have her in S tier as well.
Have Nova in S. Surprise, surprise. Rainer, where do you have him?
Not S. Raynor is a bit more of an army commander, which means it's a little bit more rough. And of his two main strategies, one of them, massing battle cruisers, takes a long time, which is not good here because this is a short map. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. But then bio, yikes. So I think, you want to go spider mines, you want to bunker up after things have been cleared. Try to use the Hyperion for clearing the out. I'd probably use the Hyperion, skip the first 3 targets and go straight to one of the farther ones and try and use it to clear like the top or the right as early as possible. Because those are going to be the ones where your bio has the most trouble. And then just kind of go in with bio and stim around and stutter step through, and hopefully you don't get completely eaten by fireworks. And you do have extra money, so that'll help you. Like the extra mineral pickups in the early game, you can get your extra command centers extremely quickly, and then have insane amounts of minerals. And hopefully, throwing that is going to be enough. So I had him in C tier.
I actually had Rainer in B tier because instead of going bio, I thought of going third prestige instead. And with all that money, I would just get three or maybe 4 starport production of battlecruisers. And the nice thing about battlecruisers is they can either teleport away from the fireworks, or if you don't have that available, you just use the stim, the afterburner thing, to literally fly away from the fireworks. They are air units, so they should not be blocked by terrain or body blocked by other units. They're not great. I still think they're not because they do
I
have
think
a
B is
means
fine.
to. Yeah,
It's just a little slow, even with the extra money. It's a little slow compared
that's
to like
true.
other people.
I
I
have
do think
never
B is
accused
fine.
Rainer of being fast. But
Yeah, I think it's fine. B tier should be fine for him.
all right, B tier then. Third prestige because that is
Give
the
him the
only
wins he
way.
can get.
Yeah.
Just you got to give Rainer his wins where you can because he doesn't get a lot. So
Give him one. Give him one. All right. B tier for Rainer. Someone who's not B tier, Stetboy. He has Zerglings, he has Infestors, he has Super Gary, he has the S tier. Maybe even double S tier. What do you think?
yep, just be sure to be overcharging your forward satellite whenever you fight because fireworks will target it and you don't necessarily need it, but it is annoying. And yeah, just spam Zerglings and Gary himself, and then maybe Ultralisks and Corruptors if you need them against air, and it's an easy time. So S tier.
S tier. All right, moving on. Stukov. Where do you have him?
Stukov is one of those where it's like he's kind of S tier, but he's so much slower than the S tiers that I dropped him to A tier. If you're going P3, you're going to be very slow. P1 should work just fine as long as you're good with like Diamondback micro and whatnot, which isn't too hard. Just click up towards the enemies and then click away when they start chasing you. It's not that complex. But even with that, that then introduces an element of risk, whereas P3 does not have risk, but it's slow. So I had him in A tier.
I acknowledge that third prestige is slower than first prestige. That being said, it's totally free if you go third prestige. Totally, literally, because you have free money. You can get your bunkers of plebs so fast. I would rather go third prestige, and I do think that is S tier rather than A tier. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess that's fine with the extra money. Again, like, yeah, he's definitely S tier strength. It's just you're probably beating the mutation a little bit slower than most of the rest, but that's not necessarily a huge knock. I was just looking for, you know, any reason to put fewer people in S tier.
I mean, I was trying to say Kerrigan should be A tier, but okay. My Donnie. Oh. So what? Are we putting him in A or S?
I think S is fine. Yeah.
All right. Third prestige because, of course, this just like goes without saying. Swann, where did I put him? I put him in A tier. He does have wraiths. You can dodge with them. They don't have shields. They take. Yeah, they're not quite as slow to build as Mirages. That being said, oh, they also have the dodge thing. That being said, they're pretty paper planey. You do have the laser drill. You can go factories, and you'll get a lot of money for wraiths. They don't quite disable enemies by lifting them though. They will clump a lot. So if you do get hit, it's gonna be really painful. That means you do have the regen though. I don't think they're quite strong enough for S. I do think they're strong enough for A. What do you think though?
Yeah, I went P1 so I could just float factories at all of the already unlocked locks, and then the laser drill keeps them completely defended, so I can just focus on clearing with the wraiths, and then went mass wraith, and it wasn't too bad. So, but it's definitely they can't shoot while moving the same way that Phoenixes can, where it's completely free. You do have to like stutter stuff and everything, which makes it harder to be doing work while dodging the fireworks. So yeah, I had to have been A tier.
All right, unanimous A tier. First prestige, yeah, it's good. I think second prestige is also worthwhile since you have the concentrated beams to just eliminate attack waves before they hit, making their fireworks completely irrelevant. But yeah, I guess first or second is fine. Moving on, Tychus, where do we have him? Or
Well,
rather,
he's like the
yeah.
best. He's the best because you go P2, which means all the fireworks always fire in exactly one spot, which makes them incredibly easy to dodge. The extra money means you can get out. Like, I think I beat it in 12 minutes, and I had every mercenary with every upgrade in 12 minutes, which feels very fast, at least to me, with
That's what she said.
P2. So, yes, yes. Yeah, so it's just like the freest thing ever with Tychus. So, yeah, S tier.
I did play Tychus. I did go second prestige. I didn't quite experience being able to dodge everything because how I play Tychus is I send outlaws in different directions. And I can only have my camera in one spot at a time. So you can probably figure out how that went for me. I don't know. What did you
Yeah,
do?
that's fair. The only thing I didn't dodge was because I dropped the Odin on the right set with the Dominator and nuked. And it just like 7,000 rockets instantly killed the Odin. But it didn't matter because then it dropped Tychus, so it was fine.
Oh my
I
god.
typically just go with one or two at a time, and then I also micro one for any attack waves.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not too bad because you kind of like run in with Sirius, drop your turrets, move back just a little bit so the turrets do a bunch of work and tank any firework hits, and then focus on Tychus for a minute. Use the Shredder grenade, then walk him back just a little bit. I'm never like actively fighting with them, but I do have them in two places at once. And I mean, like I said, I think it was like a 12-minute game, so you know
It's
it
really
was really
good.
pretty quick.
Yes, probably S tier. I just remember all of a sudden why I kept losing guys. It's not just the fact that I only have my camera in one location. I also was on one medevac platform for the first 12 minutes of the game.
That sounds like a you issue. I don't know why you didn't build more. You have free money, so
It's not a
I was.
hey, it's not a skill issue. It's a remembering, it's an ADHD issue. I just didn't remember, okay?
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I would
Oh my
go three
god.
medevac platforms with the mastery for them probably, just so you can heal up any of the
Is
firework damage you need
ADHD
to.
is ADHD a skill issue or is it just I don't know. It
I
feels
didn't
like
say
a
skill issue. I said you issue. I didn't
Oh,
say
that,
anything
wait,
about
okay,
skill.
that's
Okay.
fair. That's fair. That being said,
Yeah.
yeah, it totally is an issue. That being said,
I
it's
mean, this is really hurting my plans to argue for triple S Tychus this week. Oh well.
he gets one S for each medevac platform.
It was legitimately easier than playing lock and load normally because I had every upgrade so fast. It was kind of stupid, but yeah, I mean, apparently triple S is going to be a hard sell. I wasn't aware of that.
Oh well, I guess he's still S.
Yeah.
Moving on to someone who's not S tier, Vorazun, D tier. They have to explain it. I don't want to.
No, I had her in C, but I could definitely see D.
I don't like
As some
Vorazun
may
this
know, am
week.
not. I don't like Warzone much usually ever. So yeah, I'm good with D tier. It's a little bit miserable with the fireworks and everything.
Also, the
The
time
extra
stop.
money is nice, but you tend to get a lot more minerals than you do gas, which
True.
she
Like
doesn't
it's like
care.
a 3-to-1 ratio or something. She does care a
Yeah,
lot about
and she doesn't care much about that.
gas.
About the minerals, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, she
I
doesn't
mean,
care about the
more cannon.
minerals.
Oh, so
More things to die to fireworks. And yeah, the time stop
yes.
thing really annoying to deal with on this map. You get enemies constantly running to your locks, and you only have cannons, which will get absolutely blown up when the fireworks set off. And the Dark Templar are melee. I guess spellcasters, but still feels bad. The Corsairs are very short range. I don't like it. I don't like it. So I guess we're going D tier. No prestige because D tier is considered bad. Zagara, where do we have him?
Zagara I had in B tier. I would go P3, so you can mostly clear with Zagara herself. She's not going to have too much trouble dodging the fireworks, along with her hunter killers. And banelings are pretty good for clearing. And then any extra money, you just, mass make banelings and kind of roll them into wherever, I guess, or just use them for defense with some Scourge and things like that. It's really not going to be too bad of a time because you can solo clear this map with just Zagara without too much trouble. So I had her in B tier though because it is a little bit less good than some of the others. I could see A though. Depends on what you think.
I actually had him in S tier because
Okay.
I didn't go for the hero play because the hero gets targeted. I went for the free units play because hey, oh no, I lost my
That's
army
fair.
anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, S tier works for me.
Oh my Donnie. I mean, I guess you can build bio launchers if you want, but they'll
Yes.
just get blown up too. But yeah, first prestige. Don't even think about it. Just your first prestige. You're fine. S tier, right?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Zeratul. Where do you have? Oh wait, it's my turn. Zeratul. Free cannons. Middles, more cannons. And you have the demote dude. You turn biggest to small units, which in turn launch smaller fireworks. Great success. S tier.
Yeah, it's another commander, another S tier. So it's pretty easy with the free money and the cannons and everything. He'd still be S tier, I think, even if you didn't have the envelopes and it was just rockets or fireworks. He'd still be S tier. So
Is he? If you go cannons, they'll just get blown up right away. But I guess that makes sense. Maybe A tier without the free money. But yeah,
you just go P3 though, and
oh yeah, you can spin to
Zeratul
win.
kind of clears this map super fast, and it's just one unit. So I think that would still be S tier against. And
All
then
right,
any cannons or whatever is just cake, So yeah, I'd say he's S tier even without envelopes, honestly.
totally fair. All right, Zeratul S tier. Do we have a double S tier this week?
Well, I thought Tychus was way easier than even doing lock and load normally was, but apparently this is a unique experience.
I'm sorry. Okay,
I think there's a
I'm
lot.
really sorry.
Double S's this week would be things like Tychus, Dehaka, Karax, Zeratul, maybe Nova, and Stetmann would be my
Tychus,
candidates.
Dehaka, Karax, Zeratul, Nova.
Karax, Stetmann,
Oh, Karax,
Zeratul,
Stetmann,
Nova.
Zeratul, Nova.
Yeah, let me arrange these in such a way that I can say it again more easily. And maybe Stukov, I don't know.
Maybe
But you seem to
Stukov.
think Stukov was. You said quote completely free, which sounds like a double S to me.
I described
frankly.
when I said completely free. I described the nature of the cost to build bunkers.
That's true,
Because you
but I
just
mean, then the only other mutator is kill 3 of my free units and then more come. So I don't know. That one's up to you. I don't know. Because I did have him in what B originally. So if you want or A. So if you want him in double S, that's up to you. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an easy
I'm
week.
almost okay with the set. I'm a little unsure about Karax because you kind of need to deal with the hybrid dominators, the Thors, static defense. I guess you could just orbital strike
You have
static defense,
Yeah, you have orbital strike. You have the
purifier
space
beam.
lasers. It's purifier beam. Like you probably get to use that twice with P3, and then you just have Infinity Phoenix, and you can also just spam zealots as well.
That's true. I did spam
You clear
Zealots.
everything out.
I
You
went
clear
for
everything out that you can with the Phoenix, and then 30 zealots run in and kill everything else. Like they won't
I
have any
went for
trouble with it.
third prestige, by the way. Third prestige, and I still ran 30 Zealots in.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there you go. I think that's that's about as double S as it gets.
Hmm. Okay,
You don't
fine.
care if the
Bottom
zealots
of
get
bottom of double
fireworks after they
S.
kill the Yeah. Oh, poor guy. How is he ever going to recover from this?
He can't. His career is over.
Bottom of double S. What a loser.
Who's top of double S? Stetboy, right?
Did we do the? Have we resumed the recording?
Oh,
Or are we doing this outside of the recording?
no, actually, I already ended the recording. We're not recording. This is offline. Just kidding. I've resumed.
Oh, just for us. Okay. Top of double S, I guess, would be maybe a Zeratul, because you have spin to win and cannons.
Not Stetboy because you
And then,
have literally
yeah,
infinite units.
yeah, Step Boy works for me. And then I'd say Tychus in third, and then Dehaka, and then Nova.
Dehaka and Nova. And that loser Karax, bottom of double
Yeah.
S.
Yikes. May as well be F tier at that point, buddy.
Double F tier. Who's top of S? Arcturus?
Top of S
Arcturus?
would be Arcturus,
Yeah,
I think, and then Stukov, and then Abathur, and then
Stukov,
Zagara. Actually, no, I think
Abathur.
Zagara is above Abathur.
I think Stukov might be top of S, actually.
Yeah, well, we were debating him double S, so yeah, that's fine with me.
Zagara not that high. I think Kerrigan might be bottom of S.
I think Kerrigan's bottom. Just flip her and Zagara, and I think that's good.
Okay. Top of A.
Swann
All right.
for me.
Top of B. A. The best friends.
Yeah. But who's the better best friend? I think Artanis is better.
Okay. Top of C. Well, Han and Horner because they're more fun.
Yeah, Han and Horner was almost a B tier if not for air comps. So
And then Vorazun, D tier. All right, guys. That is the tiers for this week. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for it, also please leave it in a comment. And if you want to apply for these tier lists and not leave me totally begging everyone every single week to join me, please comment or join my Discord. Are we still doing Discord?
it's nice to be needed.
It is nice to be. It is nice to not have to beg people every single week to do these tier lists. My Donnie. I'm completely at the mercy of other people's schedules, despite the fact that I'm busy on my own thing, by the way. Oh, my Donnie. I actually, if it weren't for the fact that my editor had to leave on Saturday, I would have postponed this tier list until I can find actually 2 people. So I'm completely at the mercy of other people's schedules, despite the fact I have my own busy schedule. My Donnie. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.